It's not what I do it for. I do it just because I like to do it. I'm a journalist. Right. And yeah, I've been paid. I get paid for some of the work I do. Not for this kind of stuff though. Yes. Right. I'm just out here because for the love of politics, right? That's why I'm here. Because I care about all these people out here. I want to let people know what it looks like. Direct action.
Pentagon kills! What do we do? Fight the power! Pentagon kills! By the hour!
Hey folks. We're down here across the street from the W Hotel, out here protesting. President Obama is going to be here in town, San Francisco, here on October 10th, 2014. Sullivan. And we're hanging out with Joseph here, longtime political activist. So we're going to be here for the next hour or so at least. Showing you that there are people out here that do oppose the policies of endless war that the United States seems to be pursuing. Walk around, maybe give you a few interviews. They've got 3rd Street completely blocked off. You really can't get anywhere near close to the W, which is the gray building across the street.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a little
more photos. All right, Jess.
What do we do? Fight the power! Pentagon kills by the hour! What do we do? Fight the power! Pentagon kills!
So we're gonna walk around a little bit.
What do we do?
See how close we can get.
We got
a pretty sparse crowd of about 50 people.
I can't hear you. Do we want money for jobs and education? Really?
So as you can see, the whole street's blocked off.
Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. We want money for jobs and education. 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 Okay, let's feel about how important it is for them to hear us inside. I am a public school teacher here in San Francisco. We have not had a raise in 8 years. And we're facing a situation where the teachers, paraprofessionals, and families that are served by the public schools in this city, and literally thousands of cities across the world are being told there is no money for education. Yet, the drones, the bombs, everything that is being sent to kill innocent people in Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, that costs trillions of dollars. So where's that money coming from? From us, from our jobs and our education. They tell us there's no money, and
you can see all the streets are blocked off. There's the W Hotel across the street. This is where the president will be staying. As you can see, everything's blocked off. Secret Service across the street. It's so loud out here. My ears are so loud. Hate to say it. So loud. Oof. I mean, I know we have to be loud.
They need to freshen up their chants.
Oh yeah, well.
They need to get some.
I know. I kind of feel like when Answer does it, it's like the loyal opposition, right? Yeah, they're doing it for so many years.
I figured this was an Answer thing.
Yeah.
But that's good for them. Somebody's got to shout, "Hi Nancy! Hi Nancy!"
Yeah, last time he was here at the W, Credo brought out a lot of people for the Keystone XL. It's right there. It's the gray building.
Okay.
Right.
Down there?
Right across the street, the gray one. Right over here.
Nice.
Yeah, with the sculpture on top of the thing.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine that works there.
It takes 2 hours to walk 2 blocks.
Oh yeah, well they got everything blocked off. You can't walk anywhere down here. Well, they blocked off 3rd Street. He's not going to. The president's not expected until about 7 o'clock. They say 6:30, 7 o'clock. If then, he's going to stop and he's probably going to stop up and see one of his wealthy buddies in Silicon Valley before he comes up here, right?
You can't touch him with this security.
Is there an event here, or he's just staying?
Yeah, he's going to be speaking. There's an event. It costs $500 to get in, and if you want to get your picture taken with the president, it's $32,000.
Spread your legs.
So there you go. President Obama, basically in the Democratic Party, they feel like California is a piggy bank, right? So that's why we're out here, in case you're wondering.
What do we do? The Pentagon kills by the hour. What do we do?
So yeah, this protest is sponsored by Answer. If you want more information from them, it's answersf.org. Here, they got a drone down here. World can't wait. A lot of drone, as you can see. And more people are showing up as the time goes by. This protest is going to last until about 7 o'clock.
Pentagon kills by the hour. What do we do?
I have to get away from those speakers, though. Killing my ears.
What do we do? The Pentagon kills by the hour. What do we do? The Pentagon kills by the hour. What do we do? The Pentagon kills by the hour. What do we do? The Pentagon kills by the hour.
Talk about one of your LRAD devices. I'm live streaming right now. Right. President's going to be appearing here at the hotel.
And so what are you going to do with put it
Well, I'm already broadcasting it over the internet.
Wow.
Right, so you're already online at Ustream.
Are you doing me now?
Yeah.
You're filming me right now?
Yeah. Well, it's just live stream, right?
Okay, great. So
That's okay. I won't take a picture.
No.
Okay, you don't mind?
No, I'd like to see it.
Okay, why are you down here anyway?
Because actually the reason why I've come down is for welcome Obama. He's still an incredible president, no matter what. And then it's great. It's I don't know.
Okay.
I'm overdone.
Okay.
That'll cost you.
All right.
You know, do you need me to sign a contract?
No. It's all for free. It's all cool. It's all good.
Play back.
Okay. You can go to the website.
Turn.
Oh no, I don't do it. It's broadcast live over the internet. Right? And I don't stop it. If you want to see it.
Alright, guys, they can't hear you in there.
I feel like I'm
sitting in there.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's all good.
People have so much money they can actually afford to live in the city.
It's always funny. People still aren't familiar with live stream technology.
And we don't have a voice, so we have to be louder than that. Even though there's just a few of us right here, we want
Not
to
enough
be
people?
twice as many.
Besides that,
Yeah,
people that are here.
You
We're
said
it looks like we're too crowded and it's too small of an area, basically. Oh yeah, well that's everything. Well, you can't get mad about. Yeah, I know it's because we don't reach out enough to the. I agree. I'm in total agreement, you know.
Doing old things, handing out pamphlets.
That obviously doesn't work. No. No.
Right?
Well, I wonder whether live streaming works either, and this is the latest technology there is, right?
At least it's there.
Right.
It can be discovered.
Getting it. Well, it gets out there pretty quickly too.
Do you know about? There's a site called Scoop It.
No, I haven't heard of that one.
Check it out. You'll love it.
All right.
You can put your.
How about Rebel Mouse? Have you tried that?
Social networking for.
Yeah, that's what I love to do. I'm a social networker. Big time, right?
For. Well, you'll see. It's.
And Scoop It?
Scoop It.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of the usual suspects out here.
It's a really fantastic stuff.
You know why too? Is I think that being older right now is that we have a little bit more funds, and we're not like struggling to survive in the super expensive city, San Francisco. So like, you know, I know me. Well, me, it's like myself. Right? I don't have to struggle. So
I was born and raised here.
You know, so I
all I
actually.
can do to stay here.
Yeah, I know. I know. I had to move to Oakland. You know.
I lived in this state for 14 years.
You know, I lived here for over 30 something years, right?
It's nice, but I
had to move, couldn't afford it. But at least now I can afford it, and I can actually come to a lot of demonstrations and stuff because I'm kind of semi-retired, right? So
well, I just pretty much realized. Are you getting?
Yeah, I get disability. Well, not much though.
I can't quite live on it. What I'm getting.
But just because they have
yeah, you gotta work.
for invading the Middle East doesn't mean it's a new reason. It's the same old reason for oil. We know that too. Is that not right, sisters and brothers?
Yeah, that's why I was doing web stuff. Just because, you know, it's a good way to pick up money here in the Bay Area. And you can work at home. I've just not been in hustling work.
Right.
You know, I haven't really felt like it. I shattered my leg a few years ago, right? I had a rod and everything in there, keeping it together.
Hundreds of thousands of people have gone into
and
said that we're human and we deserve rights. We're workers. We're living here. You can't abuse like that. You can't allow these cops to go
yeah, but you still feel it.
And what happened? About a month ago,
and
Obama said, you know, we're going to do something. We're going to do something. Okay, we're going to
I spent like 3 years in a wheelchair.
What did they do? They once again delayed it.
Yeah, I finally got rid of it like about 4 months ago. You know, I'm not even using it at all. I still got it at the house. I use it as a seat because it's comfortable. But, you know, like the chair, I can't do it anymore. Right? You know, it's messing up my game.
And we have to stand up and say, what? What do we have to say?
We got to get more people to show up for these. You know, what do you think it is? You think
here's the problem.
No more tyranny.
These guys
and
are not communicating with
the Democrats that are around.
Answer's not communicating with
Occupy.
Wait. I went to the Occupy triennial.
Right.
Whatever.
Oh yeah, did you go to that? I didn't go, unfortunately. You know.
Dude, there was 100 people there.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the reason why I didn't go. You know.
Keep us running around in the same rat race, the same rat wheel, whatever you want to call it.
Not reaching out to the. You know, you got to go out to the colleges, right?
Independent of any of these liberals and Democrats.
But these college kids are not political.
Well, you got to get a lot from there, actually. I went to Berkeley.
Did you go to any of the free speech stuff?
I went to the, I did the 50th anniversary.
Right. Yeah, I got invited to do that. I believe, oh yeah, the Hong Kong thing was happening on the same day. That's why I didn't go.
I got one of the students to talk about that, and
yeah, because the Hong Kong thing's still happening.
I got the, Africa was there, and some of the
Yeah, I was gonna go, but I ended up, I couldn't be in both places at the same time. And I wanted to reach out to the Chinese community, the Asian community, because I don't know anybody in the Asian community. You know, it's like, you know. So and it was kind of cool. they were very disorganized. They, you could tell they never had a march, never had organized a march before. Right.
When do we want it? When do we want
Because I've been doing this crap for a long time, and
When do we want it?
I kind of quit organizing and just started doing the live stream stuff. Because I think that doing stuff online has a more of an impact on people in the long run. Because your audience is so much farther, and your stuff goes so much farther, right? When you're doing this stuff, like we're using Twitter and Facebook, and like last night, Oakland Alec, she had people listening to the St. Louis police scanner to find out what the cops are going to do in advance of where they were marching at. Of course, the cops were watching the live stream too, but because they watch these all the time, because this is how they get to know what's going on too, right? Because it's available to anybody on the internet, right? So, but this is like one small way that we can use technology to our advantage, because it's pretty much a stacked deck against us, no matter how hard we try. But now at least we have some control over the information that gets put out, right?
Yeah.
And I found that a lot of times when I do live streams, that I actually have a bigger audience than what people see on the evening news. Right? Sometimes. Depends on the event. Like this one here, I didn't expect to get a lot of people. But, when something's going off, and there's a lot, there's actually a nice confrontation, and then people tend to watch more often. A lot of more people watch.
Yeah, the video on YouTube that got the most, the one that has the most,
Saudi Arabia. Number 7.
the most views is,
Bosnia. Number 6.
what
Somalia.
did I call it? But anyways, the cops are roughing up these kids on Mission and 16th.
Oh yeah.
Kuwait.
It's got like 400 views.
Number 3.
Like violence, yeah.
It's only a few,
It's kind of sad, but
4 minutes or something.
Libya.
confrontation, right?
And the first since 1980 alone, Iran.
Like this is pretty boring. Well, I should check the comments. What's cool about this too is that people are watching.
You are giving to the
Have nobody on chat.
Democratic
People can chat with you.
Party is money being spent to continue
I see you tweet out all the time to get an audience.
wars for empires.
Yeah, it's kind of boring out there for people that are watching. Log on to the chat and let me know how the video looks, if you would.
There's a crowd of suits gathering across the street.
Oh yeah, let's go check that out. I had to get away from the speakers, man.
American lives are not more important than the lives of people.
So I got a little crowd that's gathering out here in front of the
And
WS.
you are being lied to.
A lot of suits, people are coming in.
are wrong to support
Those
these
are,
wars.
looks like likely Obama supporters across the street.
About the Khorasan group. The Khorasan group was made up to justify U.S. airstrikes.
That's why they kept us away from the hotel.
And yes,
They got all these VIPs and whatnots trying to get in.
By
By the way, for people that are watching, it costs $500 to get in across the street. $32,000 for the highest ticket. That's when you get to sit with the president. So,
This is no way to get to anything better. Nothing the U.S. does.
so we got a speaker
military
now.
moves, in bombing, in invasion, in regime change. Nothing the U.S. does will make the situation in the Middle East any better for the people. U.S. out of the Middle East, that's the only way. When you give money to the Democrats, you are continuing a murderous streak of war for empire, and the people of the world, those on the other end of our drone strikes, are looking at you and asking you, don't you think our lives are just as important as yours? Don't be fooled into supporting these wars. ISIS is bad, yes, but everything the U.S. has done in the Middle East, everything the U.S. is doing today, and everything Obama is planning to do in the Middle East is worse than ISIS.
That's scheduled to go on until 7 p.m.
No peace. U.S. out of the Middle East. No justice. No peace.
No, it's kind of boring.
Out of the Middle
I'm
East.
getting bored. That's why I'm walking around and stuff.
You know what, you think they do a march or
No
something?
justice. No peace.
Do a march or something?
U.S.
Yeah,
out
no
of the
doubt.
Middle East. No justice. No peace.
Get some action going.
So again, all those
No
people,
justice.
lined up across from the building in the W Hotel. Those are all Democratic Party supporters.
No peace! No justice, no peace! No justice, no peace!
So people are trickling in here.
Do we want any more wars? No! What do we want? No more wars! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? No more wars! When do we want it?
I'm gonna go across the street here.
When do we want it? What do we
Just to give you a little shot of the crowd.
When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? Wait, when? When? What do we want? When do we want it?
So there you got a good idea about how many people are here.
What do we do? Pentagon kills by the hour. What do we do? Pentagon
Yeah,
kills.
I gotta stand away from the thing because it's so loud, it's hurting my ears.
What do we do? What do we do? Pentagon kills by the hour. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? I think we should get fired up right now because they have billions of dollars that they're using for war, yet there are thousands and thousands of people who sit in this country and go hungry every single day for food. That's what they need is food. While tons, pounds and pounds of food are thrown out. So there's billions for war, but can't be the war. We're fired up. We won't take it no more. Billions for war, but can't be the war. We're fired up. Can't take it no more. Billions for war, but can't be the poor. We're fired up. Can't take it no more. Billions for war, but can't be the poor. We're fired up. Can't take it no more. Billions for war, but can't be the poor. We're fired up. Can't take it no more. Billions for war, but can't be the poor. We're fired up. Can't take it no more. Billions for war, but can't be the poor. We're fired up. Can't take it no more. Billions for war, but can't be the poor. We're fired up. Can't take it no more. Billions for war, but can't be the poor. We're fired up. Can't take it no more. Billions for war, but can't be the poor. We're fired up. Can't take it no more. Billions for war, but can't be the poor. We're fired up. Can't take it no more. Billions for war, but can't be the poor. We're fired up. Can't take it no more. Billions for war, but can't be the poor. We're fired up. Can't take it no more.
So there you go. Got about a crowd of about maybe 50 people out here. We're at 3rd and Howard here in San Francisco, right down the street from the W Hotel, where President Obama is slated to appear between 6:30 and 7 o'clock.
Apple Pop's watching me. He wants to bust the hell out of me.
With the anti-coalition, one of the sponsors of today's protest here.
Well, the street's yours. You just have to act like it, basically.
Stretch it. Stretch it. Stretch it.
That's generally the way I found. They're going to always say no. You can't go there. You can't go there. You just have to go. It's generally the way it works.
And by people just calling us, well, what should the U.S. do? What should the United States do in the face of what's happening? In the face of this offensive by this reactionary, really despicable organization called ISIS or ISIL or IS.
Yeah, whatever they're calling it.
Our answer to that question is that the U.S. should get out of the Middle East. That is because of what the United States and the former colonizers, the French and the British, and their allies like Turkey in the region have done, that we have arrived at this point. The truth of the matter is this, that in 2003, there was no Al-Qaeda in Iraq. There was no ISIS in Iraq. The people in government in the United States tried to convince the people in the United say that they were going to war against Saddam Hussein and against Iraq because they were somehow connected to 9/11. Isn't that true? And the reality was never anything like that. The United States invasion tore Iraq apart. It tore the country to pieces. The U.S. policy was to set one community against another. One community against another. Over 1 million Iraqis died. The infrastructure of a modernizing country was destroyed, and much of it had been destroyed by something called sanctions and the blockade that had gone on for 13 years before. 23 years of war against Iraq, against the people of Iraq. And since 2011, the United States and its allies have been sponsoring a civil war inside Syria. There's no way that war would have gone on this long without outside intervention. And over 160,000 Syrians, they say, are dead, and many millions are refugees. And it was that intervention that opened the door for the revival of an organization that was basically dead, the ISIS organization. It was gone by its own account in 2010. And Al-Qaeda was defeated in Iraq, and defeated mainly by the Iraqis themselves. It's only that intervention that has created the situation we see today. So when we hear people say, well, maybe we made some mistakes, and now we have to finish the job. What do the people in Iraq think when they hear the words, finish the job, after all this is done? Does it mean all of them have to be dead? This intervention has really, the war,
walk around here.
the sanctions, the blockade, the invasion, the occupation, carried out by Bush Sr.,
So we can show you
by
some of the donors to the Democratic Party.
George W. Bush, and by
Which are down
Barack
here.
Obama, is a crime, a gigantic crime against humanity.
There's people, all these people in line. Up behind the cop here. These are all people, donors to the Democratic Party.
Reparations to those countries that have been so devastated. The people of the Middle East, in their vast majority, have no interest in living under a regime of ISIS or ISIL or whatever they call it. And in fact, in Kobani, which is threatened to massacre and to great disaster, if it were not for the Turkish government, a close ally of the United States, preventing the Kurdish people in Turkey from going to defend Kobani, ISIS would be defeated by now. Their policy is supremely cynical. The United States is not doing this because they're concerned, U.S. government, because they're concerned about women's rights, or refugees, or human rights, or democracy, or any of the pretty words that they use to try to win over the people of this country to support their awful, their genocidal policy. They are concerned only with the interests of empire and power and profit. And every move they make, and you can see this by the way they reacted to Kobani, every move they make is not based on saving anybody except themselves. So we say, again here today, to President Obama, and we say to the people of the United States, do not be deceived by what President Obama is saying, what the generals are saying, what those in the ministry.
So I can see that the cops are harassing some of the photographers that are out here.
What they say is just lie after lie after lie. And we're here to say,
But I don't think it'll bother me because I'm not in the street.
the road to peace is U.S.
Who knows?
out of the Middle East. The road to peace is U.S. out of the Middle East. The road to peace. U.S. out of the Middle East. The road to peace.
So basically, Obama makes these trips to California He views California to be his little piggy bank along with the Democratic Party, because California is a solidly blue state. The Republican Party here is a real joke, as a matter of fact. And as you know, we got the idiot Dianne Feinstein, Wicked Witch of Wall Street West. Right, she's pretty much a no-brainer. Nancy Pelosi, a member of the 1%. You know, and they're all going to say, oh, well, we're progressive and all this other bull. Right, and we know they're not progressive. All they want is more war in the Middle East. You know, it's to the United States' government's advantage. Divide and conquer, right? We've got all these different factions fighting in the Middle East. They won't be fighting the United States. So the police here are maintaining a pretty minimal presence, because there's not a hell of a lot of people down here, actually, to be honest. That's sad. But, you know, we're hopeful that it'll resonate out in the world. The Bay Area is pretty much solidly anti-war. You wouldn't know by Fleet Week, which is in town. Anyway, we got the street all blocked off down here, truly.
From D.C. to speak to the wealthy and the elite in San Francisco. The wealthy and elite in San Francisco are the ones that are kicking us out of our homes. The wealthy and the elite of San Francisco are the ones that are sending our kids out of the city. The wealthy and the elite are the ones who today gentrify our neighborhoods. And that is the liberal Democratic Party.
We're going to move across the street. It's amazing how many people don't even know Obama is going to be here in town. It's really funny to me. So they got all the heavy equipment out here.
Money for jobs and education. Money for jobs and education. Money for jobs and education. Money for jobs and education.
How's it going?
Money for jobs and education. Money for jobs and education.
I'm actually surprised they got a line out on the street like they have with all the people trying to get in.
You know, the last time I was down here at the same building was over a year ago. And it was just like that. Those are the donors.
Yeah, I'm not surprised they have them waiting out on the street. They must be the lower echelons.
The lower, yeah.
Yeah, right. They got to stand out on the
They're
street.
not the
and wait.
1/10 of one.
Right, right. They're just the 1%.
Do you know what single payer health is?
Yes.
Would you like to sign a card?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Do you need me to
Yeah, just hold the camera. Just hold it in there. I'll hold it for you. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, maybe he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Bob's like,
I'm very bad with
I don't know about that. No, but it's pretty sturdy.
That poor guy, somebody bought some like 99-cent Apple old phone or something.
Oh, yeah?
And then all of a sudden it went crazy. It was like calling all the numbers in there, and it was taking pictures all over the place. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't even looking. He was doing all this crazy stuff.
Very good, my penmanship.
Make it good enough to read. I'll check it. I said
I did for a while.
You must have got your phone.
Yeah. I always had a DC. Nobody calls me anyway.
Maybe I'll call you and tell you when we're having the next campaign.
Okay.
I'm Judy.
Okay, Judy, there you go.
All right, now let me see. Free-man Sullivan.
Yep, that's me.
Good. Okay. Is that picture of Free-man?
That's it. Got it. I used to work for a company called Freeman Sullivan. I used to write algorithms for them. They were a statistical research. That was when the internet first got started.
And why was it called that?
Well, that's just how people own the company called one with Freeman and then another Sullivan. And Sullivan's my last name.
Oh, yeah. I know, I'm the same kind of story. I'm a notary, and my name is Judy Beck, and my company is Beck & Paul.
Okay.
Make use of what we have.
Yeah, I'm totally covered right now by Medicare.
Well, in San Francisco,
That's why I have Blue Cross Blue Shield.
in San Francisco, it's a little different than everywhere else.
I didn't get
But
that.
before the rest of the world,
I went and went. They gave me a choice. I could get that or Blue Cross.
Thank you, Kim. 400 Cuban people, again, to try to destroy the Cuban Revolution. And the Cubans lied. Can you say why? So why are they in the United States prisons today? 60 years they are in prison. It's because the U.S. wants to destroy the Cuban Revolution, which means the country that is in power, the people are in power, free healthcare, free education, a life of peace, and solidarity with the world. Shame on the Obama administration and every administration before him that has tried to harm the Cuban people. So join with us.
That was Bob manning the camera for a few minutes there.
The message of the U.S.
He's a member of Occupy.
Of the demand of freedom of the Cuban Five. You can check the information on freedomfive.org. But also, when you go to the site,
Talking about the Trans-Pacific Partnership. The evil trend, whatever initials they're using right now, TPP, there's TPIP, like they have a whole lot of these trade like things that they're trying to push up on Americans and around the world, basically to it would do so many things I can't even begin to explain it to you. But basically, these little trade agreements become de facto, like the de facto laws that we as people, we didn't elect anybody to pass these trade partnerships. So just a little bit about that. So it looks like they got all the guests in. There's no line across the street. I only got to lean up against something. Being the old fart that I am. And you guys that are watching, I'm still not completely 100%. Coming out here is like pretty hard on me physically. But I'm out here for you. And for those of you just joining us, we're here at the W Hotel here at 3rd and Howard Street in downtown San Francisco. President Obama is scheduled to make a speech here at 7 o'clock. So